How to practice at home. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. How are you? Great. So, listen. Today, I'm going to give you lots of ideas about how to practice speaking English when you are alone at home. Home Alone sounds like a film. Are you ready? Let's do it. Hello, and if you don't know me, my name is Ariel. I run the channel English 5 Days. So listen, today we are going to be looking at how to practice speaking English when you are alone at home. It is not easy for many people, right? Because maybe you don't have any native English speaker in your city. Maybe there are no tourists that you can go and harass. Maybe there are no groups where you can go and chat and do English. Maybe you are not ready to go on Skype and try and find some random English person to chat with. Somebody you don't know. I mean, that can be quite hard, especially if you are a little bit shy like me. So what I want to do today is share with you lots of idea about how you can practice speaking when you are on your own at home alone, right? Good. Okay, the truth about speaking is that yes, you can watch videos, you can watch films, you can listen to podcasts, all of that is great. But at some point, you need to start speaking, and you can speak on your own, but also later, you will need to start interacting and practicing speaking with people. But that's not always easy to do, and so right now, today, I'm going to focus on some really practical, simple activity you can do when you are on your own at home to start practicing speaking. So the first technique is called speak into the mirror. And this is really useful, but it's really simple, right? It's easy because you can do this first thing in the morning when you are brushing your teeth. You can't speak and brush your teeth, but just before you brush your teeth. And in the evening before going to bed, when you wash your face, what do you mean? You don't wash your face in the evening? Why not? My mother always told me, make sure you wash your face, clean behind your ears, wash your neck, scrub your neck. Yeah, wash your face before you go to bed. It takes all the dust and pollution off your face, apparently. Anyway, that's a great time that you can do it. And this is good because the key to learning and preparing for IELTS is habit, right? And if you cannot attach your learning to an existing habit, brushing your teeth or washing your face, then it makes it much easier. Now, I used to do this when I was learning Chinese, and in the morning, after brushing my teeth, I would just have a few sentences talking about what I'm going to do today in the future, right? Speaking Chinese, right? So today I'm going to go to the park. I need to go to the supermarket. I'm going to buy some vegetables. I'm meeting Jake at 6 o'clock. Might go to cinema, all in the future. Brilliant. And then at the end of the day, you can talk about what you did or what you have done, right? Today I went to the park. I played football, and then I went shopping in the inn. I have done a lot. It has been a good day, right? Past and present perfect as well. So you can see yours. It's actually great to practice different tenses. It's a bit like writing your diary at the end of the day, right? Which is also a great way to practice writing, but this is speaking in front of the mirror. It's nice. It's reflective learning in many ways. Okay, moving on. The next one I call collocation fun, right? Collocations are words that are often used together, right? Like we talk about heavy rain. Heavy rain in English, we don't say big rain. Today there is a big rain. No, there is a heavy rain. So these are the collocations. Collocation fun is where we are going to practice speaking using a very common teaching method from really based on the task-based approach to teaching, and it's based on prepare, practice, present. So we will be preparing the words, the collocations, practicing sentences, and then presenting a whole talk, okay? Now the reason I suggest doing these in front of the mirror is that actually there are great benefits of talking to a mirror, right? First of all, mirrors don't answer back like young children's or wives. But apart from that, right, when you are speaking in the mirror, you can look at your mouth and you can see the kind of movements that you are making, which is great, right? It's useful for pronunciation. You can also check your body language. You may be surprised to see that you speak like that without ever moving your arms, or that you suddenly realize that I'm doing this all the time. That's fine, but it's being aware of your body language can be quite good, and also you feel like you are talking to someone, right? Maybe people I know, and this happened to me, right? I practiced for a long time with a book, and when I went to speak to somebody in the foreign language, it was like a shock seeing this face in front of me. Oh my god. But practicing with the mirror, you have got used to a face in front of you, right? So it does help. So let's look then, prepare, practice, and present. Prepare. What I suggest you do here is you take a topic, right? A recent topic. We were studying in the live lesson was science, right? And then get some collocation. You can use your course book if you want. You can get onto the internet. You can go to my channel and watch other content like how to learn English, my struggle to learn English, and others, etc. This one called English 5 days, and in here, right, you have got free videos lesson. You can go through to the free video lesson, and there is a recent one on how to learn English. So you can just listen, right, download the video. Yeah, we want to download that and then find in there all the collocation. Look, you have got the notice here. And here you have got collocation, you have got idioms, you have got lots of stuff. And what I would do is I would take maybe 6 or 7 collocation or idioms like exact science. It's not rocket science to be on the same wavelength, and that's the preparation, right? Step 2 is in front of the mirror just to make a sentence with it, right? Exact science. Well, bringing up children is not an exact science. Cooking is not an exact science. Frying an egg, it's not rocket science. It's actually quite easy, right? And then I'm just practicing sentences here. And then in the end, after practice, present, I take one of the old part 2 questions around science, maybe something like describe an area of science you are interested, and then start to talk about it for maybe a minute and trying if possible to use some of these phrases and sentences, right? So you maybe say something like this. Describe an area of science you are interested in. Well, okay, I guess an area I'm interested in actually is cooking. And I know it's not an exact science, but I guess it's a branch of science, a branch of food science maybe, right? And I'm interested in the science behind cooking. I think it's very interesting, and I know with cooking, when you heat things up, they change, and when you mix different things like sugar and vinegar, you get different levels of acidity and chemical reactions happen. So I think it's really interesting, right? I think chefs and scientists are really on the same wavelength because they're trying to experiment, discover new things, whether it's cooking or new dishes like that. I know cooking isn't rocket science, but I'm interested in how it works, and so yes, although it's not a hard science, I think it's an interesting area of science for me. So you can see what I'm doing really here is not giving a perfect part to answer. I'm just trying to activate and practice some of these expressions that I have been learning, and that's it really. So that's it. It's great because that preparing the collocations, practicing the sentence, and then presenting a talk is a really tried and tested method. Do it in front of the mirror. It's great. You get everything. You get the contact with somebody, but you can see yourself. You can monitor yourself. It's really a fact to collocation fun. Great, I want to go and do it. It sounds like so much fun. I'm going to do it again right now. I'll be back in a moment. And next up is practice with short audios. Now I'm a big fan of extensive listening, right? Listening to podcasts and films, that's great. But when it comes to speaking, I think short audios are much better. They are bite-sized chunks, they are easy to use, and your concentration is shorter for shorter periods of time. You can work with, for example, recorded IELTS sample answers. There are many websites have those. Not written, it must be recorded, right? You want to listen and then speak. There is a tool that I have talked about in the past to many of the students here. It's called lingq, and I like it's because it's full of short audios that you can use to help start speaking, and it's free. I mean, there is a paid version, but you can get lots of stuff for free, which is great here. So let me show you first of all how that might work. So this is a lingq, okay? I'm not going to explain how it works. You can find that out once you kind of sign up for free. but basically there is a library. You choose your level here. So let's say I'm going to go intermediate, and you can choose down here different audios to listen to. I have got one of my previous lesson here about sports that I will open up, and let me just show you briefly how it works. We will just focus on the bit on the left. Okay, let's try. Hello Steven. Hello Steve, nice to see you again. Nice to see you again. So what I want you to focus on first is, as you listen to the sentence, pick out the stress words. Nice to see you. Nice see you. Like to chat a bit about your interests in the sports. Chat, interests, sports. So I'm just repeating the stress word. Chat, interests, sports. Sure. You lived in Japan for quite a few years, I think. Lived Japan years, I think. Right about 9 years. 9 years, okay. So you can see I'm just doing the word stress, and also you can also pick out chunks or phrases that you like, that sound interesting. Years, and I think you lived in different cities. That's right, I lived in Sendai for 4 years, which is a little bit north of Tokyo, a little bit north, a little bit north. That's interesting, which is a little bit north, right? Not in the north, not located in the north, is a little bit north of. Nice, Tokyo for 4 years, and then 1 year down south in Shikoku, down south. Interesting. Not in the south, down south, okay. And did you play any sports when you were in Japan? A little bit, a little bit. I love that. A little bit, a little bit. Played a little bit of soccer. I played a little bit of soccer, a little bit of soccer. Isn't that great? So you can see I'm picking out either the stress words or the little phrases or the chunks that I like. And this is really helping us listen and prepare for speaking. Next, what you will do after you have finished, if you want, you can check the tap script as you listen again. That's fine. But at the end, what I would like to you to try and do is to try repeat the audio or the lesson, giving a summary. So repeating it with your words, not reading, not listening. In fact, you can just close that and focus on your own words, right? Oops. And then after you have done that and you have done a bit of practice, you could then try to retell the lesson or the story and record yourself. If you are not sure, you can use your there is a mobile app to record your voice. There is a Vocero, which is also a very simple online voice recorder. And recording yourself is great because it puts pressure on you, and that, my friend, is good. Also, you can then, once you have listened back, go and compare to the original lesson a story with the tap script and see if it's different. Did you make a mistake? Instead of saying a little bit of football, did you say a little bit football? Or did you use different collocations, right? Instead of individualized sports, did you say personal sports, something different? That noticing, again, puts pressure on you, which is great. And it also helps you to notice. Noticing language is a kind of a feedback, which is essential to improve. So that's it. Practice with the short audios. Right, the next one is really fun. Then it's about imitating your favorite English speaking actor or actress, okay? So here, you watch a film in English, take some of the actor that you really like and pretend to be them, right? So you are copying their body language, their gestures, their facial expression, their accents, their voice, their words. You are copying everything. Why does this work? Because it's all about identity. A key part of language learning is your identity as an English speaker. And as a student, we often have a mask, or we can create a mask that we hide behind when we speak a foreign language. And this can be very, very helpful to reduce anxiety or stress, especially if you are shy and you don't want, you are embarrassed of mistakes and of not speaking correctly. When you have these marks to hide behind, it doesn't matter because you are being somebody else, and it's great fun to do these with actors and actresses. Is that actresses that you like? Let me show you a very simple example. There is an actor called Ruvan Atkinson. You may know him for Mr. Bean, but he plays a myriad of character, and one of the recent one is Johnny English, right? Let's have a look at Johnny English. I'm not sure. Let me clear up the uncertainty for you. You haven't. Let me clear up the uncertainty for you. You haven't, right? So it's that taking the character, try and do the voice and the whole body, and you become that character, and you can do that when you are practicing speaking on your own, right? You probably don't want to do it when you are out and about at the shops speaking to foreign people. Hello, they will think you are Johnny English. They think you are made, but when you are having fun at home, it can be a great way to practice. So that's it. Imitate your favorite English speaking actor.